Lina Sardar Khil, Our Little Girl. A piece of my heart. Hopes for a better life for Lina Sardar Khil dashed by her disappearance in San Antonio. Story by Jacob Beltran, staff writer for the San Antonio Express News. The United States was a breath of freedom for Lina Sardar Khil and his family when they fled Afghanistan more than 2 years ago. By the time the Taliban had regained control of their homeland last August, the Khil family was settled in San Antonio in an apartment complex on the northwest side where many fellow Afghans, mostly from their home province of Khost, also lived. There they found a tight-knit community who share a cultural and religious identity while enjoying many benefits of life in the U.S. Above all, they felt safe. That newfound peace of mind was shattered on December 20th, 2021, when Khil's 3-year-old daughter, Lina Sardar Khil, went missing from a playground a few feet from the family's front door at the Villas del Cabo Apartments, 9400 Fredericksburg Road. Lina's disappearance filled her community with sadness and fear and elicited an outpouring of support from near and far. San Antonio police, the FBI, nonprofit groups, and many volunteers have searched for the little girl. The FBI sent an elite team of divers to look in the shallow, murky waters of a creek not far from Lina's home. Rewards totaling $150,000 have been offered for information that leads to her discovery. Khil, 26, and his family continue to search, holding on to hope while coping with sorrow, pain, and a gnawing fear that someone took the child with malicious intent. How can anyone cut a piece of my heart? Khil asked. Sitting in his apartment after another round of searching with volunteers, Khil spoke through an interpreter in Pashto, his native language, about Lina, the day she disappeared, and her family's life here and in Afghanistan. We came from a horrible place with the hope of a better life. The life of the party goes missing. Though born in a war-torn country, Lina is a playful girl who's happy living at Villas del Cabo, her father said. She enjoys YouTube videos and playing with her younger brother, Quadar, who will soon be 2 years old. Her favorite food is chicken in all its forms, her father said, and she loves lollipops, which she shares with friends who visit for playtime. Before her disappearance, the Khil family's apartment was considered the place to be among Lina's friends, who often came over to play with makeup, putting lipstick on each other and painting each other's nails. Lina can also be shy, and she's mindful of her parents, staying close to them and following their examples, Khil said. If her father or mother knelt to pray, she would kneel beside them. When they sat for mealtime, she would sit as well. Monday, December 20th, 2021 was supposed to be festive for Lina's family. Her mother is expecting a third child. They were preparing for dinner and a party at Khil's brother-in-law's home that evening. That day, Lina demanded more makeup in a good-natured way, Khil said. She wanted to bring other children inside to play with makeup together, he said. He promised to buy her some makeup. He never got the chance. Khil was about a mile away on Fairhaven Street visiting a friend from Austin when his wife, who asked not to be named, called to say she could not find Lina. A San Antonio police report released this week said Lina was playing near the playground with other children at about 5:40 p.m. when her mother took her eyes off her for a short period of time and was unable to find her again. Lina's mother told police it was cold, so she put black jackets on Lina and her brother before they went outside, said Lawang Mangal, a family friend serving as an interpreter. At one point, Lina brought a water bottle to her mother to open before she continued playing. The playground is a small square fenced-in area next to a soccer court and an elevated pavilion with a wood canopy. 3 side-by-side stainless steel barbecue pits stand on an elevated concrete portion of the pavilion next to trees and a parking lot. Part of the black chain-link fence around the playground appears to have been forced down some time ago. Lina was running up and down some stairs with other children when she went past the pavilion and into the parking lot near a large tree. The apartment building blocked her mother's line of sight, Mangal said, but she expected Lina to emerge from the other side as she had many times before. When Lina did not reappear, her mother went to find her. There was no sign of her. Jacob Sardar Khil is the brother of Lina Sardar Khil, who disappeared 3 weeks ago from a playground at her family's apartment. Lina's mother thought her daughter might have slipped past her and gone back to their apartment, but Lina was not there. Khil said he returned home and searched Villas del Cabo and a neighboring apartment complex, which are separated by a wooden fence. Initially, Cahill thought perhaps someone from the Muslim community at Villas del Cabo had invited Lina into their home, a common occurrence. He and his wife hoped to hear from another family that Lina was with them. When nobody called and said, "I have Lina," then I thought someone must have abducted or kidnapped her, Cahill said. He called the police and reported her missing. Cahill said he returned home and searched Villas del Cabo and a neighboring apartment complex, which are separated by a wooden fence. Initially, Cahill thought perhaps someone from the Muslim community at Villas del Cabo had invited Lina into their home, a common occurrence. He and his wife hoped to hear from another family that Lina was with them. When nobody called and said, "I have Lina," then I thought that someone must have abducted or kidnapped her, Cahill said. He called the police and reported her missing. The police report states that 2 witnesses said they saw Lina near or around the park playing with other children. Another person provided security camera footage from the doorbell camera that investigators could not find an image of Lina on it. Officers searched the immediate area and knocked on every door in the apartment complex, the report states. A police dog searched the fence line and did not find anything. A search of the surrounding area by a police helicopter also turned up nothing. A community in shock comes together. Mangal is head of the local Afghan council. If anything happens to one of its members, the council mobilizes manpower, money, or other forms of assistance. Cahill is also prominent in the council, leading when Mangal is unavailable. Now it's the time to lean on the council members. Mangal said Lina's disappearance has shaken people's sense that they were safe in the apartment complex. The playground is deep within the grounds, and there is always family outside. On Sunday, Cahill was joined by 8 other men, most of them from the Muslim community, as they searched along a drainage ditch parallel to Hebner Road, bordered by heavy brush and dead grass. The team walked from USAA Boulevard to Floyd Crow Drive, not far from the creek the FBI divers had searched. Armed with sticks, they combed the dead brush and sifted through shallow water in the ditch, which was green and covered in algae. Pamela Allen, CEO of Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach, organized Sunday morning search. An advocate for children and families in San Antonio, she offered support and counsel for Khil and his family. Pamela Allen, CEO of Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach, organized Sunday's morning search. An advocate for children and families in San Antonio, she offered support and counsel for Khil and his family. That morning, they found 2 animal carcasses. It came as a relief to Allen, who had received tips that buzzards were flying around the area. Allen, Mangal, and the volunteers stopped their search after more than 3 hours to eat at Khil's apartment. As the searchers walked back to USAA Boulevard, a motorist stopped and shouted, "Don't lose hope, you'll find her." Danger and trauma in the homeland. Khil is the son of an Afghan military commander and served in the country's armed forces himself. He said he and his family left Afghanistan in 2019 after he received death threats from the Taliban because he supported U.S. troops. "We saw a lot of horrible tragedies there," Khil said. Before she went missing, Lina's most traumatic experience was in August 2021, while she and her mother were back in Afghanistan to help a relative. The Afghan government was collapsing as U.S. forces withdrew, ending America's 20-year involvement in Afghanistan. Taliban fighters overran Kabul, the capital. Lina and her mother were among thousands of Afghans who swarmed the perimeter of the Kabul airport on August 26, desperate to escape. Outside the airport's Abbey Gate, a suicide bomber detonated an explosive belt. More than 180 people were killed. Lina and her mother survived, but the girl was knocked unconscious. Khil, who was awaiting their arrival in San Antonio, contacted his father-in-law, who took them back to his home. Eventually, the U.S. arranged for their safe departure from Afghanistan, Khil said. Mangal said he was also in Afghanistan in August 2021, visiting family, and that he, his wife, and their 3 children witnessed similar atrocities as they fled. His children see a psychologist to help them cope. He said life in Afghanistan was dangerous. Plans to leave their homes there had to be kept secret, even from family members, for fear the Taliban would find out. It was a very bad situation, a very scary situation, Mangal said. At any moment, you could have been killed. In the United States, we were happy to have freedom that we have now. Seeking a better life. It was Khil's hope that Lina would grow up happy and without stress. Khil said that's what his father and grandfather wanted for him in Afghanistan, and to earn a college education and be successful. War set his family into a different path. In 2009, Khil's father was a battalion commander in Afghanistan's forces, leading a team that supported U.S. troops. He was killed by a suicide bomber, as was Khil's uncle. Khil and his 10 siblings, 5 brothers and 5 sisters, had to support each other. One of his brothers ran a transport company, helping move U.S. forces from one point to another, but that fell through after a while. In 2013, Khil enlisted in Afghanistan's security forces. From 2015 until 2019, he was a team leader working with U.S. forces out of Camp Chapman Base on his home province of Khost. Khil described it as mostly a desk job. When Khil moved his family to the U.S., he worked as a driver for Uber, Lyft, and other ride-hailing and delivery companies. When Khil moved his family to the U.S., he worked as a driver for Uber, Lyft, and other ride-hauling and delivery companies. He recently obtained a commercial driver's license and had been making long-distance deliveries. But the winter weather made travel too dangerous, he said, so he decided to stay home and look into making local deliveries again. His hope is for Lina to experience what the U.S. has to offer, especially in education, while preserving her Afghan culture. The good and bad in community response. Many San Antonians have reached out to support the family, and including volunteering to search for her. Many San Antonians have reached out to support the family, including volunteering to search for her. The Islam Center of San Antonio has raised money, $100,000 at last count, as a reward for information that leads directly to finding Lina. Crime Stoppers of San Antonio is offering $50,000 for information resulting in an arrest. But the family is troubled by rumors and speculation on social media, including suggestions that Lina's parents sought to sell her. "I don't need money," Khil said, adding that he can easily earn a living with his commercial driver's license. The family is aware that some child disappearances stem from parental disputes, but Khil said he and his wife have been happily married for more than 4 years. To see her again, Lina's family is keeping faith, hope, and prayers that they will see her again. "We fully trust in our God that Lina will come back home," Khil said. "That is giving us motivation." San Antonio police have classified Lina's disappearance as a missing persons case. Officer Alicia Bruneda, a police spokeswoman, said anyone with information should call area code 210-207-7660. Asked what he would say to Lina, Khil smiled at the thought of seeing his daughter again. He closed his eyes, his voice grew softer, and Mangal relayed his friend's thoughts. The only message he has is to hold Lina in his arms, to get her near his heart.